Aloha. I'm Eric Arakawa, and I'm here in France, all the way from Hawaii for 3 weeks. And I'm here at Surf Lounge, and in my hand, I have my animal model. This board I designed a few years ago for a surfer that just wants a bit more paddle power. And with a pretty, still a high performance outline, but with more user-friendly aspects. So if you look at this outline, if you can see that, a little fuller nose, tail plan shape. It ends into around a pintail, so it still has some holding power. It's not a really wide tail, wider, but still enough holding power for the average surfer. It has a slightly flatter entry rocker, moderate tail rocker. This board was not meant to be surfed in mushy waves, although it does perform in softer waves. But I still wanted the versatility to ride a board like this, a shorter board, shorter rail line, in waves that are hollow and punchy. So for the surfer that wants a little more paddle power, but doesn't want to go too long, still wants to square off the bottom and surf in the pocket, this board will surf vertically and give you the performance and drive off the rail. So again, what I wanted to design was a versatile board for a surfer that wants a little more paddle power in a shorter rail line. And yeah, this is really popular. It's been popular here in France, in other parts of the world, in Hawaii for sure, especially on the South Shore. But yeah, so this is one of the models that I ride personally myself. I have another board here. This board is called the Holy Moli. So there's an interesting story to this. So this is not a board that I conceived in my head alone. A couple of years ago, my son, he's 33 right now. At the time, he was about 27 years old. He came to me and said, "Hey, I want to design something, he said, Dad, I want you to design something that has a long rail line that he can cruise and carve and do big swooping turns." He wanted to just kind of to be able to stand on a board and relax and get the thing to glide. And he's not he's not a cruisy surfer, but he rides everything. He rides short boards, he rides fishes, he rides long boards, but he felt like this is one thing that was missing from our line. And so he started describing what he was thinking of, and I started to draw it on our program. And as he started to describe it, I go, you know what, I know exactly what you want. This is like back from late 1960s, early 70s, like Morning of the Earth design. And right now there's a Morning of the Earth brand. But before there was even a brand, there was a movie called Morning of the Earth. And it was these boards, typically kind of like this, in this genre, that the surfers were riding. And this is where it all started. So we built the first one, the first prototype. It went pretty good, made a few changes, and a few generations later, we finalized this board right here. You see the Holy Moli. Pretty long, continuous rocker, very moderate, a lot of paddle glide, and a pointed nose, rounded pintail. These work great as a thruster if you want to get more tighter cornering, or as a quad, just to get more draw down the line. But they're very maneuverable. They don't do typically really sharp turns, although my son has been able to get this vertically into the lip. Typically what it likes is when a surfer comes and just presses on the rail and drives the board. It'll do big carving arcs just with a lot of follow through. So I mean, it draws beautiful lines, and this kind of surfing is really always nice to see. So if you want to maybe take some of the jerks and maybe some of the noise out of your surfing as a board to ride on everyday conditions, or maybe just as a training board just to just to quiet the turns. So you just take out the unnecessary movements and get the really pure body mechanics and just carve and draw lines. This is a great board to add to your quiver.